T.I. is reportedly spiraling after Boosie dropped leaked footage, and now everything is going wild online. New clips involving King Harris just hit the internet, and people cannot stop talking about it. Fans are reacting fast to the shocking content and T.I.'s response, turning this into a full-blown online frenzy. Everybody's locked in, trying to figure out what really went down. So let's break it all down. What Boosie actually shared, how T.I. responded, and why King Harris is suddenly at the center of all this chaos. King Harris, born Clifford Joseph Harris III, is the son of rapper T.I. and Escape singer Tamika Tiny Harris. He's the oldest of their 3 kids together, but the family tree goes even deeper. T.I. also has 2 older sons and a daughter from previous relationships, while Tiny has a daughter of her own, making this a big blended family of 7 children. This isn't just any family either. Their lives have been on display for years, with cameras capturing everything from their homes to their day-to-day lifestyle on shows like T.I. and Tiny, Family Hustle, and Friends and Family Hustle. Because of that spotlight, King has basically grown up in front of the world. Since he was a kid, people have been watching, judging, and picking apart every move he makes. That kind of attention doesn't go away. It only gets louder. As he got older, King stepped into music, launching his career under the name Kid Cyan in 2020. He started experimenting with trap beats and melodic hip-hop, trying to carve out his own lane. After dropping early tracks like Wild Rock Tar and Bad Intentions, he kept pushing forward and released his EP, A Thin Line Between a King and a Playa, in 2021, showing he was serious about making a name for himself. He was clearly trying to build his own identity in the music world, stepping out from under his father's shadow and proving he could stand on his own. After gaining attention through his family's reality TV fame, King started popping up in other spaces too. He appeared on the improv comedy show Wild 'N Out and even made a guest appearance on a 2021 episode of the competition series Wash Wars, showing he wasn't afraid to branch out and try different lanes. By 2023, he also showed up on Dish Nation as himself, keeping his name buzzing in the media. But this is where things start to get messy. Over the past year, King Harris has been hit with a wave of rumors that spread fast across social media. Clips started popping up online, with people claiming they showed him in situations suggesting he might be in a same-sex relationship. These videos quickly made their rounds across TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube, getting reposted, edited, and shared over and over again. The internet took those clips and ran with them, turning speculation into full conversations that just kept growing louder. People everywhere started weighing in. And before long, the talk pulled in not just King, but also T.Y. and Boosie into the spotlight. The situation kept escalating as more voices jumped into the mix, each adding their own take to the drama. To make things even more intense, King has also been dealing with other rumors at the same time. There were claims that his father T.I. had kicked him out, along with talk questioning whether he was the father of his newborn son. That's the level of nonstop speculation surrounding him right now. At just 20 years old, he's caught in the middle of a storm where the internet doesn't separate facts from rumors. It just keeps the noise going louder and louder. Once something starts trending online, people treat it like it's already proven true. No questions asked. The clips circulating, the posts tying them to King Harris, and the loud commentary from voices like Boosie have all mixed together into one massive storm. And when you factor in Boosie's history of speaking out on LGBTQ topics, it adds even more heat to the situation. Boosie is known for saying exactly what's on his mind, no filter at all. Over the years, he's built a reputation for making strong and controversial statements on sensitive topics, from public remarks about Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union's daughter Zaya to calling out artists like Lil Nas X. His opinions have sparked major reactions again and again. That track record matters here because whenever his name gets linked to a situation like this, people instantly pay attention. It's not even about whether the claims are solid or not. His presence alone pushes the story further into the spotlight. The moment people see his name attached, they start clicking, sharing, and debating like crazy. That's how stories like this grow so fast, turning speculation into something that feels way bigger than it actually is. Meanwhile, King Harris has been speaking up for himself, trying to shut everything down. During a recent live stream with his partner, Nana Epps, and their baby son, he addressed the rumors head-on. King didn't hold back at all, making it clear where he stands. He said, "Everything the world say about me is a lie," and made sure people heard him loud and clear. He showed up with his family right there beside him, holding his child and pushing back against everything being said online. In that moment, he wasn't just responding. He was calling out the entire narrative and telling the internet straight up that they got it wrong. It's important to point out what went down during that live stream because it wasn't random at all. King Harris and his girlfriend took a moment to talk about how much their baby boy looks like his father's side of the family, even mentioning his resemblance to his grandmother. That wasn't just a casual comment. It felt like a direct response to all the rumors flying around, especially the ones questioning paternity and his personal life. King was making a clear statement without holding back. He was basically saying, "Look at my family. Look at my son. Everything being said about me is not true." He used that moment to push back against the noise and show a different picture than what people were spreading online. And honestly, it grabbed attention fast. At the same time, T.I. was right there showing support in his own way. In a sweet video, he was seen holding his grandson, who already has a few nicknames like Lil Jack. T.I. even called him the world's greatest gangster, adding his own proud and playful energy to the moment. That alone showed where he stands, with his son and his grandchild, no matter what people online are saying. But to really understand why Boosie's name being tied to this situation matters so much, you have to look at the bigger picture. His history with T.I. isn't simple. It's been full of ups and downs. They've gone from working together to clashing publicly, then back again, only for tension to rise all over again. The hip-hop world is used to drama, but this back and forth between T.I. and Boosie has been especially loud. There have been heated exchanges, public shots, and fans jumping in from both sides, making everything even more intense. And trust, this didn't just start overnight. It's been building for a while now. T.I. and Boosie both came up as major Southern rap figures in the 2000s, T.I. repping Atlanta and Boosie holding it down in Baton Rouge. They moved in similar circles, built strong names in the same era, and for a while there was real respect between them. It even got to the point where they were planning a joint album together. That's how tight things once were. They were in the studio, working on music, building something fans were actually excited to hear. Everything looked solid, until it suddenly wasn't. Things took a sharp turn when Boosie accused T.I. of snitching on his late cousin Toot. That claim didn't just come out of nowhere. It came after a story T.I. shared during a 2020 episode of his Expeditiously podcast, where he talked about a past legal situation involving a firearm charge. According to T.I., his lawyer suggested a way out of the case. He said the charges could disappear if they were placed on his cousin Toot, who had already passed away during the trial. T.I. explained it by saying, "Toot said, 'I'll take all the charges you got. If you can walk away free and put it on me, goddamn right, because I'll be damned if they're going to come and motherfucking extradite me from here.'" That quote quickly caught attention and started spreading everywhere. When Boosie heard that story, he reacted fast, and he did not hold back at all. The situation exploded in February when Boosie publicly called T.I. a rat, pointing directly to that story as the reason. He even went on Vlad TV to speak on it, making his stance crystal clear and adding even more fuel to an already heated situation. From there, things only got louder, with both sides speaking out and fans jumping into the middle of it all. What started as a past story turned into a full-blown public clash that still has people talking. Boosie didn't hold back at all. He went straight in on T.I. during an interview on Vlad TV. When Vlad brought up the joint album they had worked on, Boosie made his position crystal clear. He said he has no interest in dropping music with someone he considers a rat. Just like that, the whole project was shut down. He even said, "No, that album is not coming out because it ruined everything," making it obvious there was no coming back from that moment. T.I. wasn't about to stay quiet either. He fired back publicly, and that's when things really started heating up. The back and forth quickly escalated, with Boosie taking shots on Instagram and calling T.I. a snitch, bringing up his past legal issues, including federal gun charges. That kind of accusation is serious, and T.I. took it personally. T.I. responded by making it clear he wasn't intimidated at all. He stood his ground and said he would defend himself and his family no matter what. The tension between them kept building, turning into something way bigger than just words online. Then things moved into full diss track territory. In March 2022, T.I. dropped Boosie, directly calling him out and addressing the disrespect. Boosie didn't waste time responding, firing back with his own track T.I. Hates D Boosie, where he accused T.I. of being fake and not standing on what he claims. But it didn't stop there. This just kept going. By May 2022, Boosie dropped another track titled T.I. is a Snitch, doubling down on his claims and accusing T.I. of cooperating with law enforcement in a past case. T.I. pushed back by posting videos on social media, denying everything and clapping back hard, keeping the feud alive and louder than ever. Here's what makes the T.I. and Boosie situation even more interesting. After all that public back and forth, they actually found a way to work things out. Despite the diss tracks, the online shots, and all the tension, the two eventually sat down and cleared the air. Then on April 9th, a photo of T.I. and Boosie popped up online, and it instantly had people talking. Fans started thinking the feud was officially over, and they were right. I even spoke to TMZ and shut down all the drama himself. He made it clear there was never real beef the way people thought. He said, "First of all, it ain't no beef. We're grown men. Our sons still are very close to each other. There is no beef. It's a misunderstanding. Someone misspoke. And I believe that someone has come to terms with that understanding and it'll be handled offline. It ain't no beef. That statement alone flipped the whole narrative. And it wasn't just T.I. saying that either. Boosie later confirmed that he had apologized, showing that both sides were ready to move forward. During another interview on Vlad TV on April 27th, Boosie explained how they handled the situation like grown men. After a private phone call, he admitted, "I gave him an apology. Because after we kept going back and forth, the things he was doing for me in my life at the time, I kind of felt bad." He even went further, acknowledging that T.I. had been helping him behind the scenes in real ways. That added a whole different layer to the story, showing there was more respect there than people realized. What looked like a serious feud ended up being something they could actually resolve without dragging it out forever. But here's where everything connects back to King Harris. Their sons, King Harris and Tootie Raw, Boosie's son, are actually close. They've made music together, spent time around each other, and built their own bond separate from their father's issues. Then in September 2024, a video surfaced that pulled both families right back into the spotlight, and that's when things started getting attention all over again. A video started making rounds online, and it instantly grabbed attention. It showed both veteran rappers stepping in, questioning why their sons were allegedly using real guns as props in a music video. The clip, first shared by The Shade Room, opens with T.I. raising his voice while standing in a crowd. In the scene, King Harris and Tootie Raw are filming together, surrounded by people, when their fathers suddenly step in and shut things down. Boosie was the first to speak up, asking, "Why y'all always gotta have guns?" He made it clear he wasn't feeling the direction of the video, and even suggested they switch it up and rap about something different. But King wasn't backing down that easily. He pushed back, saying there was nothing illegal about what they were doing. That response didn't sit right with either of them. T.I. especially wasn't holding back at all. He questioned the message behind it, asking his son what it was about guns that made him want to include them so badly. Right there in front of everyone, with people watching closely, T.I. started breaking it down, turning the moment into a serious reality check. King kept defending himself, repeating that it wasn't illegal. But T.I. came right back with a stronger point. He told him, "Well, in the manner in which you portraying this lifestyle, this don't look legitimate, sir." Boosie backed that up too, saying he couldn't support that kind of image being pushed out there. Then T.I. said something that really hit hard, especially for parents watching the clip. He spoke from experience, saying, "This seat ain't free. This seat come at a cost. I can't believe this seat, man. Why y'all don't make some King love music? Y'all got girls out here. Why don't you talk about being in love, man?" That moment shifted the whole tone of the video. Both T.I. and Boosie know exactly what comes with that lifestyle. They've lived it. Their reactions didn't come out of nowhere. It came from real experiences with legal trouble involving firearms, and you could hear that in every word they said during that intense moment. Back in 2009, T.I. was sentenced to a year in prison over gun-related charges, and that experience clearly stayed with him. After serving his time, he didn't just move on quietly. He put in over 1,000 hours of community service and traveled across the country speaking out about the dangers of drugs, guns, and gang life. That's why moments like this hit differently for him. It's personal. Boosie has also faced his own legal issues tied to firearms. In July, he spoke out after being indicted again on gun-related charges, showing that both of them have lived through the consequences they were warning about in that viral video. King Harris later tried to clear things up himself. He spoke directly to the situation, saying, "I'm not that guy. I'm for entertainment purposes only." He explained that the image people were seeing, the guns, the attitude, the whole persona, was just part of the music videos and not who he really is in real life. At 20 years old, King has also pushed back on the idea that he grew up fully privileged, and now he's saying that some of what people see is amplified to get attention. But the internet didn't slow down at all. In fact, things escalated even more just weeks later. In October 2024, King Harris was arrested in Dunwoody, Georgia, after being pulled over while driving a BMW. According to reports, he nearly collided with a patrol car while leaving a gas station. Officers said they smelled marijuana and found him carrying a firearm on his hip, which was taken without any issues. The situation connects back to an earlier incident from August 2022, where he faced charges including speeding, driving on a suspended license, and driving under the influence of drugs. So just weeks after saying everything was for entertainment purposes only, King found himself right back in the spotlight, this time for something much more serious. Getting arrested with a firearm on his hip after nearly hitting a police car only added more fuel to the headlines surrounding King Harris. And the truth is, this wasn't even the first time his actions had people talking. Back in November 2023, King was involved in a heated argument with his father, T.I., during a live stream at a family event. It all went down during an Atlanta Falcons game when King jumped on Instagram Live and started going back and forth with both of his parents. The situation got tense fast. King claimed he was raised mostly by his grandmother and not in a life of luxury. But T.I. and Tiny pushed back on that right there in real time, making it clear they saw things very differently. And even before that, in September 2022, King found himself in another viral moment after getting into a verbal altercation at a Waffle House in Atlanta. Once the video hit the internet, it spread quickly, pulling even more attention onto him. Later on, his parents spoke out, defending him while also acknowledging how difficult it can be growing up under constant public attention. So when you step back and look at everything, it paints a complicated picture. You got a young man who's had public disagreements with his parents, been caught up in legal trouble, appeared in videos with controversial imagery, and had tense moments with strangers, all while being watched by millions of people online. Now add in the viral clips and rumors about his personal life, and the situation gets even louder. The internet has been locked in on every move King Harris makes. And with these new conversations spreading fast, everything has gone into overdrive. And while all of this has been unfolding around King, Boosie has also been making headlines for other reasons. He's been stepping into another situation, this time sharing his thoughts on the ongoing tension between 50 Cent and Lil Meech, keeping his name active in multiple conversations at once. Original word count 266, rewritten word count 303. This situation has also placed Boosie right in the middle of conversations about other people's family dynamics, and that's exactly why his involvement in the King Harris situation hits differently. When someone like Boosie speaks on personal matters, especially involving families, people pay attention fast. At the same time, 50 Cent has been opening up about where his issues with BMF star Lil Meech actually started. This whole situation picked up even more steam after Boosie stepped in and gave his opinion on the fallout. 50 has been going back and forth with Lil Meech and his father, Big Meech, especially after making serious accusations and calling Big Meech a snitch. During an interview on Vlad TV, Boosie reacted to a text message Lil Meech had sent to 50 Cent, one that 50 posted publicly. Boosie said, "I didn't like his response, but it seems like he got genuine love for 50, giving a more balanced take at first. But then he switched it up and made it way more intense. He said if it were him, his response would have been, 'Inga, fuck you. That's my daddy. Fuck you, Inga. Let's go to war.' That statement alone took things to another level and got people talking even more. 50 Cent didn't stay quiet either. He responded directly to Boosie on Instagram. He explained his side of the situation and made a bold claim saying, 'I did more for Meech than anyone in his life.' Boosie, that's why he responded like that. That response added even more tension to an already heated situation. And now there's another layer added on top of everything. 50 Cent and T. I have also been clashing online, turning this into a much bigger web of drama. T.I.'s wife, Tiny Harris, has even been pulled into the situation, making it more personal than ever. The Atlanta rapper has responded with multiple diss tracks, including The Right One, while reports say 50 Cent is working on a documentary involving T.I. and Tiny. With all these overlapping conflicts, everything is starting to connect, and the spotlight just keeps getting bigger. Just look at how everything connects. It's like one big web of nonstop drama. Boosie and T. I already have their own history. 50 Cent and T. I are going back and forth, and Boosie is jumping into 50's situation too. Now somehow, Boosie's name is being linked to the King Harris situation, and it's all blending together. Every new headline just adds more fuel to what's already a chaotic mix. Then 50 Cent stepped in with jokes, and instead of calming things down, it only made everything louder. He even posted an edited video on Instagram, turning the situation into entertainment, while people were still trying to figure out what was really going on. At the same time, T.I. has been speaking out, trying to clear things up and give his side after what he called a recent kerfuffle with Boosie. This is the exact kind of environment where rumors grow out of control. In today's hip-hop scene, it feels like everyone is either in a feud, commenting on one, or getting pulled into drama they didn't even start. And right in the middle of all this is King Harris, connected to it all simply because of who his father is. Being T.E.'s son automatically puts a spotlight on him, but now that spotlight is even brighter. With all these overlapping conflicts, every move gets watched, analyzed, and talked about nonstop. And Boosie's involvement makes it even more intense. He's not just any voice in the mix. He's someone who has openly shared strong opinions on sensitive topics and faced criticism for them. On top of that, his long and complicated history with T.I. adds another layer to everything. So when his name gets tied to anything involving King Harris, it instantly carries more weight, more attention, and a whole lot more reaction from the public. So whether Boosie's involvement is real or just what people believe, it still adds pressure to a situation that was already heating up. And what makes this even more complicated is the connection between their sons. Boosie's son, Tootie Raw, and King Harris aren't just acquaintances. They're close friends and collaborators. These families aren't separate at all. They're connected in real life. T.I. even said it himself. Our sons still are very close to each other. That says everything. They spend time together, create music together, and as we've already seen, sometimes even end up in situations that bring attention, like that viral video moment. So when tension builds between the fathers, it naturally spills over. And when the sons are involved in controversy, it pulls the fathers right back in. And there's more history here that people can't ignore. T.I. has always been very protective of his kids, and sometimes that has sparked major public reactions. One of the biggest moments came when he revealed he had taken his daughter to a doctor to check her private health status. That decision led to widespread criticism, with many people questioning whether it crossed personal boundaries. Boosie was one of the voices who spoke out strongly against it. He made it clear he felt T.I. was being too controlling and should respect his daughter's privacy. That situation became one of the early points of tension between them, even before the later accusations and public fallout. So this isn't just about one moment. It's layers of history, opinions, and personal clashes building over time. With all of that in the background, the situation becomes much bigger than it first seems. Now, after everything that's happened, the real question is, where do things actually stand today? To understand that, you have to look at what King Harris has said, how T.I. has responded, and what the facts actually show. Original word count, 246. Rewritten word count, 284. King Harris has spoken out more than once, making it clear where he stands on all these rumors. During a recent live stream with his partner Nana Epps and their baby son, he directly shut everything down. He didn't hesitate either. He said, "Everything the world say about me is a lie," making his position loud and clear for everyone watching. He didn't stop at just denying it. He went after the people spreading the stories too. King even said he couldn't take legal action because the ones pushing these claims don't have anything worth going after. That moment wasn't random. It felt intentional. Sitting there with his partner and child, he was showing the world his reality and pushing back hard against the narrative online. During that same live stream, they also pointed out how much their baby resembles King's family. At one point, it was said they all got the same face. They just all got different hairstyles, adding a lighter moment but still reinforcing their message. It all tied back to the bigger point. They were addressing the rumors without holding back. Meanwhile, T.I. has been right there, fully stepping into his role as a grandfather. In a sweet clip, he was seen holding his grandson, who already goes by nicknames like Lil Jack. T.I. even called him the world's greatest gangster, showing pride and support in his own way. That moment spoke volumes. He's not distancing himself or acting unsure. He's standing with his family and embracing it publicly. And knowing T.I., that's not surprising at all. He's always been someone who steps in and speaks up when it comes to anything involving his family, and this situation is no different. Original word count, 247. Rewritten word count, 285. When Charleston White made comments about King, T.I. didn't hold back for a second. King's response to those remarks already had people talking. But once T.I. stepped in, things got even more intense. He went straight at Charleston White, making it crystal clear where he stood when it came to his son. On Instagram Live, T.I. delivered a strong warning saying, "I'll spare no expense on your ass about mine. I got family who are willing to risk their lives and freedom to die about me and mine. Don't play with my motherfucking child ever." That moment showed exactly how serious he is when it comes to protecting his kids. That's just who T.I. is. When it comes to his family, there's no hesitation, no second guessing. He draws a hard line and makes it clear that his children are completely off limits. No matter who it is, he's going to respond, and he's not going to tone it down. Now looking at T.I. and Boosie in 2024 and beyond, things have shifted in an interesting way. Despite everything they've been through, they've shown they can come together when it matters, especially when it comes to their sons. During that viral music video situation, both of them stood side by side, calling out what they felt was the wrong message. A lot of people actually gave them credit for that. Fans praised them for stepping in as fathers first, putting aside their past issues to guide their kids in the right direction. That moment showed a different side of both of them. T.I. also spoke on King's image during the Me and Halo YouTube series, giving more insight into how he sees his son. He explained that King's public image is more of a persona, saying he's really just a personality, and made it clear that King isn't out there involved in serious criminal activity. That added another layer to the conversation and helped people see things from a different angle. Original word count, 262. Rewritten word count, 300. T.I. knows his son better than anyone, and he said it himself. King is playing a role. He understands that a lot of what people see online and in the music is a persona, not the full reality. That context changes how everything should be viewed. But once the internet gets involved, things don't stay simple for long. Now look at where things stand. Rumors start, clips get posted, people react instantly, and before you know it, the story takes on a life of its own. Names get dragged in, headlines start popping up, and everything spirals fast. Right in the middle of all that is King Harris, a 20-year-old trying to build his music career, be a father, and deal with a level of public attention most people will never understand. Then you add Boosie into the mix, and the situation gets even louder. His history of speaking on LGBTQ topics, his past issues with T.I., and even the connection through their sons all combine into one complicated web. That's why anything involving these names starts trending almost instantly. It's all connected, and people are watching closely, but when you strip everything back, the facts are still the facts. King has denied the rumors. His girlfriend has stood right beside him. T.I. has shown love and support for his grandson. And Boosie continues to be a controversial voice who draws attention wherever he goes. The reality is, in hip-hop, stories don't just grow, they explode. Social media, viral clips, and public reactions can easily blur the line between truth and speculation. And in situations like this, that line gets lost fast. What's clear is that King Harris is still figuring things out while living under a spotlight. From public arguments with his parents to legal trouble, from viral moments to personal rumors, each situation adds another layer to a story that's still unfolding in real time. Original word count 256. Rewritten word count 295. T.I. has made one thing very clear. He's going to stand up for his son no matter who it is. Whether it's Charleston White, online critics, or anyone else throwing shots, he steps in without hesitation. But at the same time, he's not afraid to check King either. We saw that during the gun video situation where T.I. didn't hold back and call things out directly. That's the balance he brings as a father, protective when it matters, but also willing to correct his son when he feels it's needed. And then there's Boosie. He's going to keep being exactly who he is. He's going to keep doing interviews, sharing strong opinions, and somehow ending up right in the middle of controversy. That pattern isn't new. It's what people expect from him at this point. Now, whether Boosie actually had anything to do with specific footage involving King Harris, or if his name just got pulled into the story because of his reputation, that's something people are still debating. His history, his voice, and his connection to the family all make him a major factor. But not everything online is as clear as it seems. What's undeniable is how all these pieces connect. T.I., Boosie, and King Harris together create a story that goes way beyond just one moment. It touches on fatherhood, reputation, hip-hop culture, internet rumors, loyalty, and what it really feels like to grow up in the spotlight as the child of a major artist. And in today's social media world, everything moves fast. One clip can go viral in seconds, and one rumor can turn into a headline just like that. The pressure never really stops, and the narrative can shift overnight. T.I. has been through enough over the years to understand how to deal with all of this. He knows the game. He knows the attention, and he knows how quickly things can spiral. But even with that experience, the spotlight never really gets any easier. Original word count, 162. Rewritten word count, 207. Boosie has been around long enough to understand one thing. The internet never forgets, and it never slows down. And for King Harris, at just 20 years old, he's learning that lesson in real time. Being a public figure today means nothing stays private, and everything can turn into content overnight. Even with all the noise, the facts still stand. King Harris has denied the claims, stood firmly with his family, and kept pushing forward with his music career. T.I. has continued to support both his son and his grandson without hesitation, showing exactly where he stands. And despite all the ups and downs, the relationship between T.I. and Boosie has survived bigger issues than internet rumors. But this story goes deeper than just viral clips and online talk. It's really about what it means to grow up in the spotlight, carrying a famous name while the world watches every move you make. It's about pressure, expectations, and how fast people can build you up one moment and tear you down the next. King Harris is living that reality every single day, and what he does next will shape everything that comes after. This is still unfolding, and people are watching closely to see how it all plays out. If you've been following this story, make sure you tap in, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, share this with others, and drop your thoughts in the comments below.